Hello, my love, and thank you so much for being here. Today, I am going to talk you through the 15 beliefs that I see so often that are blocking your aligned business success and bringing you all those lovely, wonderful things that you are dreaming of and all the things that you always wanted your business to be, but are currently holding yourself back, even if you're not really sure why or where it's coming from. So let's dive in and let's have a little look at these different patterns that can present themselves. So, the one that you will probably all relate to is the belief that we have to work hard in order to make money. And for a lot of us, this will come from our upbringings, from our caregivers, but also from the things that we see around us as well. But all this does is blocks your flow and your ability to receive. And it really reinforces that hustle culture rather than the alignment that we're actually striving for. And, the flow state that we would much rather be in, because what if you made more money through doing less? How does that feel? And that's entirely possible. That is the truth for me. That is the truth for many people in this world. So it can also be the truth for you. You just want to find more evidence to support that. And that is the same with all of these beliefs that I'm going to share with you today. Not all of them will fit with you. Some of them you won't have at all. And there's no right or wrong between which beliefs you do hold and which ones you don't. But you have the power to change it. And through gathering evidence, you will change these beliefs quicker. Because remember, when we're talking about a belief, it's just a thought that we don't really give much attention to anymore, but it's ingrained in us and it's something that we just believe as factual. So we want to disprove it if it's not serving us anymore. Anyway, on to belief number 2. I have definitely been guilty of this one as someone who has 3 degrees and numerous certificates and qualifications. But this is the belief that you need to be certified or qualified before I can charge more, before I can start my business, before I can sell my offers. And all this does is really dismisses your natural talents. It dismisses your lived experiences and it dismisses your soul gifts and the talents that you are born with, and those, for me, like my psychic abilities, for you as well, because you will also have those abilities, like the soul gifts that we came onto this planet to share with others. So, certifications are great. I used to be an academic. I was a teacher for almost 20 years. So I won't ever dismiss that. And I will continue to be an eternal student just because I love learning. Bonus if there's a certificate at the end of it, but it's not essential. But that shouldn't be something that holds us back from actually charging for our services or putting ourselves out there in the first place. Because if you're not doing that, you're not only dismissing yourself and what you're capable of, but you're also, you're not helping anyone if you're doing that. It's a disservice to the people that are out there looking for you right now. Okay, on to belief number 3. I need a big audience to make money. Now, this I think has come from social media and the desire to get like 1,000 followers a day or whatever like the trends are that are going around right now. But all this does is it prevents you showing up fully and selling to the audience that you do have. Now, you may have heard me speak about this before, but when I went through my last sabbatical and this latest rebrand, which we now know is not necessary because it's just a reflection of me. But here we are, 5 rebrands later. But I got rid of the vast majority of my audience and started building up my social media again from scratch because I wanted the people that are in my space, whether that be intimate or not, to be in my energy as it is now, not in my energy as it was 5 years ago or even 12 months ago. And if you are somebody who has a small audience but you're still not seeing results, you're still not converting any sales, then what makes you think that you could sell to a bigger audience any better? Because that's an invitation for you to look at your conversions and look at what's not working for you right now with the audience that you do have. So really nurture, show so much gratitude for the audience that you do have, no matter what size it is. Okay, this is where size does not matter. Okay, on to number 4. So, what if your natal chart or your energy isn't built for business success? And whenever we hold this belief, it's kind of similar, I find, to when people are scared of tarot readings or scared of card readings because they worry about being told something bad or that there's something bad in their energy. And this is just purely a misunderstanding of what those tools are. It's a misunderstanding of what placements mean in your astrological charts. And all it does is disempowers you. That's it. So it's a belief that completely does not serve anybody, because these tools, whether it be astrology, whether it be cards, whether it be psychic tools, whatever it is that you want to tap into, which obviously if you're watching this, you're curious about it, is there to empower you and to show you what you're missing. So it's never going to say to you, you're not capable of something, because that's up to you. That is your responsibility, not your planetary placement's responsibility or a tarot card that I pull for you. Okay, on to number 5. If I was really spiritual, I wouldn't care about money. I see this a lot, and I see a lot of wonderful, incredible people who are, doing a lot of things for free, or they want to serve an audience who doesn't have an awful lot of abundance when it comes to finances. And if you're in a position to do that and that feels good for you, then that is incredible. When I'm in overflow, I will give to charities, I will run free workshops, I will provide my services for free at a certain number of events, and I always do a certain number of talks throughout the year for free. I will attend a certain number of charity events throughout a year for free. That's when I'm in overflow. If I wasn't in that place of overflow, then that wouldn't serve me, and it wouldn't serve those people that I was trying to help either. And all this does is, if we say money is connected to our spirituality, it creates shame around your financial goals. And that in turn creates shame around success. It creates shame around your business goals. It creates shame around anything that you want to attract that is a reflection of being abundant and wealthy. And that's not the vibe that we're going for at all. We know that money is a currency that currently, in the year 2025, is a necessity. It might not always be a necessity, but right now it is. So we don't want to create shame around that. And on a similar note, belief number 6 is, I'm not good at selling because it feels manipulative. And I've heard this about marketing before as well, because marketing, if you look at marketing in its almost like its purest form, if you like, it is manipulation. I used to have these debates all the time in my lecturers, because I was lecturing on marketing, and we would talk about the ethics behind marketing. But there will always be corporations, companies, individuals who use tactics for manipulation. I'm a psychologist as well, and there are ways in which you could be psychologically manipulated. But if we hold this belief, it will disconnect you from authentic marketing and offer sharing, and seeing selling as a service, an honor. You can make sales a ritual. It can be the most beautiful experience. I always strive to make sure every sale I make in my business, it's an experience for me and the person buying from me. I make sure it's a fit to begin with. I build that connection. I check that we vibe. I check that I can help and I can serve this person. And if I know that I can change this person's life, like, imagine then if I didn't offer to sell them something and I just let them go and their life doesn't change. Like, that is a massive disservice. So we can make it the most beautiful process. My onboarding processes are delicious, and the way I treat my clients as we continue to work together, and like the gifts and all the gorgeous things that I get to create as a result of a sale. Plus they change their life. So there are ways that you can absolutely shift this belief, but If you feel that selling is manipulative, then it's just going to disconnect you from what you're here to share with the world. Now, belief number 7 is I have to be consistent or I will lose momentum. Now, this is kind of like a twofold, and I do massively believe in consistency. If you are at a certain stage in your business and you will see, I appear to show up every single day on social media or on emails or things like that, but behind the scenes, I have scheduled and I have pre-recorded and I've pre-prepared things when I am in my most energetic and natural flow state. So yes, you want consistency depending on the stage you're in your business. If you're not in a growth stage, then you won't need that consistency in the same kind of way, but that's a whole other video. But what we don't want to do is ignore your natural energetic rhythms and cycles. So absolutely you can have consistency, but we want to block it in time chunks that fit you and your rhythm. And on a similar note, we've got about trends and a belief that you need to follow trends to stay relevant. And all this does is it makes you fall into the background. You become part of the background noise. You become a sheep, and it might get you viral one-off, great, but it's actually going to diminish your unique frequency and your unique voice and your delivery. So that's not really a great thing. And what is relevance anyway? Like, so long as you are relevant to you, that's the main thing. So if a trend feels good and it feels fun and it feels lighthearted, then by all means go for it. I've jumped on trends when it's been like to do with filters and stuff, normally to take the piss out of them, if we're being honest, but that's just my personality and that's who I am. But I do appreciate they can have a fun element to them, and if it feels good, then fantastic. But please don't think that you have to be following a trend in order to be seen, because what's going to help you be seen is you and your unique voice. Okay, on to belief number 9. It's too late, other people already do what I do. And this is another one that will just diminish your uniqueness in an instant, but actually it's the opposite that is true for this one, because if other people do what you do, one, it shows you are aligning to that frequency. So if you think of like an offer idea or something that you're like, oh, I really want to sell that, and then you start seeing really similar things everywhere and you're like, for fuck's sake, like someone's already selling it, and then you give up on it. Like, that's the worst thing you can do, because that is the universe getting you onto the same frequency and the same wavelength as those people that are selling the same or similar things. It's a great kind of reaffirmation that it's a good thing, it's a great idea that you've had, and you're recalibrating to that frequency. That's a brilliant thing. And also from a marketing perspective, if other people do what you do or do similar things to you, it shows as a market demand. If those businesses disappear, it means the demand's gone. So actually it's a really positive thing if other people do what you do. And no coincidence, when I started to promote things for Cosmic CEO, I saw astrology everywhere. And before this, I've never really seen people talk about astrology in a business sense, and now it's everywhere. But it's showing me that I'm on the same wavelength and same frequency as those people, and the success of this program is therefore inevitable as well. Okay, so it's a good thing. It's a really good thing. Belief number 10. Launching is overwhelming and stressful, and all this will achieve is it will block you from your energetic timing and growth. And there are ways that you can launch. One, it needs to match your personality and how you like to launch. And secondly, what if you don't even need to launch in the first place? What if you have a business model that doesn't require launches? Now, I love launching, so I launch every month because I like that and that fits my personality. But if it doesn't, then either it's the method that you're utilizing, it's the wrong energetic timing for you, or you just want to create a business model where you don't need to. Easy fix, easy fix. Okay, belief number 11. Nobody will pay for what I actually want to offer. And this will very easily keep you stuck building offers that are coming from fear rather than from alignment. So you will be building offers because you are making assumptions about your clients or your prospective clients and customers. And from that fear space, you're creating something that you think they want rather than what you actually really want to sell and you really want to offer. And again, there are ways that you can launch this that fit your personality and almost do like a litmus test and make sure that it's feasible for you. Absolutely. You know, you've seen with Cosmic CEO, I've had a wait list. So before I created anything, I checked if there was an interest in it. It's something that I really, really want to offer, but if no one wanted it, then I wouldn't. But because I'm so aligned with this offer and it's something that I really, really want to do, and it's something that I wish that I had had when I was, 6 to 12 months ago in my business, I'm building it from alignment. And that feels way more exciting than creating an offer because I think, oh, maybe people want this, or maybe this is a kind of offer that I should do. Okay. Belief number 12. If it's easy, it must not be valuable. And I definitely struggled with this one for a long time because I find manifesting really easy. I find talking about neuroscience and psychology really easy. I find organization and helping people with their planning really easy. I find branding and marketing really easy. So I was like, well, surely, like, if I find it easy, then everyone else finds it easy. And why would anyone pay for it if we can all just do it easily? And that's not the case at all. And again, it devalues you, it devalues your gifts. And again, it reinforces that burnout culture because if it's easy to us and we're not having to work really hard at it, then we're doing it wrong. So we must have something else to our plate. And then we just get overwhelmed and we get tired and we get exhausted and we burn out. So again, this is more of a cultural thing. But if it's easy for you and people need it, then that's a cracking business idea. So we want to run with that. Belief number 13, I don't have time to be creative or intuitive in my business. And this is your fast track to separation from your deepest magnetism because your intuition is your key. Your intuition is what's going to show you your next best steps. Whether you call it intuition, whether you take that further and develop psychic connection and you connect into your guides and to your spirit team, or you connect more to your higher consciousness, that's always going to bring you clarity. That's always going to bring you guidance. It's always going to help you know what your next steps are. And it's going to build your confidence that way as well. So if you don't have time for that, then you're massively separated from your purpose as well. Because surely that clarity and that confidence is what we all want in business. So whenever we say we don't have something, we create separation from that thing. You're just reaffirming that you don't have it. But when it comes to that creativity and that intuition, it's like a foundation of business. It's what we all need. You need it in life, never mind in business. On to belief 14, nearly there. Well done for sticking with me if you've got to this point. So if you have somebody who you find really inspirational or that you follow, or someone who's like an industry leader in your sector, this is a belief where we say that we have to be like that particular person in order to be successful. And again, this detaches you from you. It detaches you from your own soul-led strategy, your own cosmic blueprint, your own purpose, your own voice, your own message, your own offers. And this happens an awful lot, and it happens massively. And, the further up a lot of people go in terms of career success and wealth and so on, there are people out there that are creating miniature versions of themselves. There are people who are doing that and then buying from their own clients in order to allow them to say they've had an X-figure client, and it's like feeding. It's also almost like a really fucked up pyramid scheme. Like, some pyramid schemes work because they help people like start a business who wouldn't have been able to previously, but some pyramid schemes can be really toxic. And having this belief that you have to be like someone else in order to be successful is just as toxic as that, because it's taking you away from who you are and how beautiful and how pure and how amazing you are as an individual. Okay, last one, number 15. I should know how to do this by now. And you might have this even if you're new in business, because you might think, well, I'm not a child anymore, I should know how to start a business. And all this does is, again, it brings in that shame, it brings in pressure, it blocks your curiosity and it blocks your learning. And this is where things like imposter syndrome come in as well, which you may have experienced. I know I had massive imposter syndrome, mainly when I actually started teaching. And I think because I was in universities and I was around, professors and doctors, and I was really young when I first started as a lecturer, and that did start a lot of imposter syndrome. But if you have that, just know that you will never be put into a room that you're not meant to be in. The universe will never present you with an opportunity that you're not ready for. Quite often we feel it's the other way around, and we're like, I'm so ready, like bring it to me now. And the universe is like, not quite ready yet. But when you are, you will be put in that room, you'll be put in that position. And then you go, oh shit, maybe I'm not ready. Because we're human and that's what we're like, and we can't help ourselves. But this is something where we don't want that unnecessary pressure, because you're a student. If you don't know something yet, you're a student, you're learning. And that is, what an honor to be able to learn, what an honor to be a student. How fantastic if you have a teacher or a mentor. Like that is going to lead you to the most fulfilled life, and you're going to be someone who grows and really makes the most out of their life as well. So stay curious, stay learning, stay as a student. This is not to do with those qualifications and certifications that we were talking about earlier, but this is about your personal growth, your personal development, and learning what's going to help you. And I don't think there is anybody in business who's like, I don't need to learn anymore, I know everything, I don't possibly need to learn from anyone else, I've got it covered. And I don't think that's the case for anyone, because things change so quickly, we change and we evolve so quickly as well. And if you are so closed-minded and closed off to the fact that other people might be able to help or support you or teach you something, then yeah, you're going to be unfulfilled, and you're only going to reach a certain point in your business and in your life, and you'll get left behind. You probably already know like the stories about like Blockbuster and how they ended up, completely bankrupt and failing because they thought they knew everything about business and ignored an offer from Netflix. So stay open, stay curious. It's a brilliant, beautiful thing to be. So I hope this helps. I hope this gives you some insights. You may have identified a couple of beliefs that resonate with you, some that don't. No right or wrong at all. There may be other beliefs that you have that you're like, yeah, this is something that is potentially holding me back in business as well. And the beautiful thing when you are working with someone else on these beliefs and these thought patterns is quite often someone else can see it quicker than you can. Because a lot of these beliefs and these stories, they won't be things that you're talking about every day necessarily. So they will be much more deep-seated. They will be what we call subconscious, rather than something that is in our conscious thought stream every day. So when they are in that subconscious, it's almost like they're in storage, and we're not necessarily aware that they are there until we hit a bit of a hurdle, and then we're like, why have I hit this? What's led me to this point? And it could be one of these 15. These are just the 15 that I see a heck of a lot. And these are some of the things that we're going to be working through in Cosmic CEO. They are also things that I work through with all of my business clients, those that are in Rebel Empires, those that work with me one-on-one as well. But hopefully this helps. Hopefully this gives you some insight, some clarity, and will help you start to find your evidence and see how these are holding you back potentially, but also to see how you can move forwards. That's the most important thing. We don't want to dwell on these. We can acknowledge them and go, okay, what's next? How do I move on from this? Let me find some evidence to disprove this. There is something else that I would much rather believe, and let's strive for that instead. Okay, my loves, thank you so much for watching. I look forward to seeing you very, very soon. Take care and stay tuned for more updates on what's coming next.